What's going on, team? Good evening, good evening. Hope you all are having a fantastic, I don't even know what day today is. Tuesday, Wednesday. That is Wednesday. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic Wednesday. Um, for the people who traded today, hope you guys had a good trading day. For the people who stayed out, you know, a great showing of discipline. Um, right. So tonight we're gonna update some of the charts. Right, we're gonna update our daily chart. We're gonna update our 4 hour. We're gonna update our 30-minute. We're gonna catch up to where price has moved this week. Overall market structure, we know that hasn't changed, so we still know which pairs were in a downtrend, uptrend. So I'm not gonna take too much time today, going over that. If you guys do need a deeper explanation of that, you guys could always go watch the class that we did on Saturday on the channel. Everything again is live streamed and uploaded. You could also watch Monday's session. Monday's session was really good at breaking down every single thing we needed to break down, from the daily time frame, from the 4 hour time frame to the 30 minutes. So today we're just gonna focus on, I'm gonna go through the daily, the 4 and the 30, but I'm just gonna update whatever needs to be updated. So for example, right, we know that the 4 hour in AU, there's two things I wanted to do here, because I know that I had this marked two ways in the 4 hour time frame, which we'll do when we get there. But we know daily time frame, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. We never had a break of the highs, never had a break of the lows. So we're still trading between this daily low and this daily high, right? No continuations, just 3 months of no net. 4 hour time frame, we had these pushes here on the left hand side, right? So what I wanted to really take a close look at is, do I want to use this entire push, right? We had lower low, lower high, and lower low, or do I want to say lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low? Which in this case I really don't see a difference in it. I just have I have multiple lines, so I'm just gonna keep it this way, right? And we know we had this high, this low, this high, this low broke here, which then gave us this break, which then gave us this high and this low, right? Which then we could see now in the 4 hour time frame, zooming in a little bit, we could see that we were in the zone of consolidation for a few weeks, where price was rejecting the highs going low, rejecting the lows going high, rejecting the highs going back low to the middle, to go back to the highs, to reject the highs, to go back down to the bottom, reject the lows, to go back to where we're at now at the highs, which now we could see that price is breaking these highs. So now that we see that price in the 4 hour time frame, right, at one point, yeah, we were consolidating, and then boom, we got this break. So now we know that we went from lower low, lower high, lower low, to now we have a change of character in the 4 hour time frame. So at this point, I am going to update this, right? We're going to put this line here. We're going to mark this as a 4 hour change of character. 4 hour change of character. And we know that we're trading between these lows down here, last red candle before the push up. I'm going to use the wick. I'm going to use this candle to the last green candle before, right? And we can see that we don't really have that push. My bad, guys. Had to test something out. If you guys hear the music, let me know. They are throwing, sounds like a party out there. So in the fall, we don't have a pullback yet, so we are definitely gonna have to update this when we get a little pullback. But for now, we'll keep it like that. Adding a few more lines here to the weekly time frame. Alright, so we can see that right now we're still making higher highs and higher lows, still moving counter trend, right, going against the overall market cycle, which is downtrend. Right now we're still making higher highs and higher lows. So at this point, still in the 4 hour, still in the 30-minute, and every single time frame, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. We can see that here we broke, right, finally broke these highs up here, gave us this low to the highs that we have. Right, we know that we're trading between these lows here and these highs, and same thing as the 4 hour, we don't really have a pullback yet, So I'm not gonna mark this up yet in the 30-minute time frame. So we're still gonna wait it out, right? We have 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, we know that market must chop or drop. Um, at this point, we're still above we're above all the EMAs. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. So when do I want to start looking for sells? Once price gives me a little change of character and a break of structure, at least to get a small pullback into the zone, that's when I'll start wanting to look for sells on AU. So for now, we're gonna skip that, go on to the next one, right? We don't have to update anything in the 30-minute. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. So CAD CHF, we're in peak low territory. Looks like price wants to start pushing to the top side, right? Well, we can see that price started consolidating here, a little zone of consolidation in the daily time frame. We know we have 3 months of rise. On the third month, gave us a rise no net. I am expecting price to give me a fourth month variation. Let's see if price wants to do that. A 4 hour, we can see exactly where price is moving sideways, right? Rejecting the highs, going to the lows, rejecting the lows, going back to the highs, rejecting the highs, going back to the lows to where we're at now. No continuations, right? We just have a weaker rise. 30-minute time frame. We can see again we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Price then gave us higher high, higher low, and price has just been consolidating. So again, we rejected these highs, started pushing to the bottom side. We know that after a change of character, for us to have that confirmation that price is going to turn around and start going back up, we need to see a change of character and a break of structure, right? So this could just be a fake out. Price could again just be consolidating, just like this. How it's doing, rejecting the highs, rejecting the highs, rejecting the highs, and then what do we see? Price consolidated, boom, broke to the bottom. So at this point, we still gotta be a little bit patient. Still gotta wait for our confirmations, right? We don't want to get in too early into the trade to then, get in the situation where we get faked out. We still know we're trading between these 30-minute highs that we can see price tapped into, rejected and went down, and these 30-minute lows down here at the bottom. So this is still going to be a pair where not a lot to update. We just kind of got to be patient with it, let it develop, wait for our opportunities, right? Again, we want to see higher highs and higher lows. Right now, what is price doing? High, low, higher high, low. Price just consolidating, lower low, lower high, lower low. So not the best place to look for a trade. Euro AUD, let's update this one. Go to the daily time frame so we know exactly what we're looking for. We're V2 at the bottom of consolidation. We have 2 months of drop, this month being the third month. You can see price already going back down to the bottom. Perfect. 4 hour time frame, we have a weaker rise, no continuations. Again, let's add some of our weekly lines here as well. And we know that we're still trading between the same higher high and higher low, still trading between the same high and the same low. Where are we? In the middle. So not only are we in the middle of the zone of the daily, we're in the middle of the 4 hour. So we already know this is not going to be the best place to look for a trade. For us to look for a trade, what do we want to see? We're still seeing lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and prices just still rejecting the highs. We consolidated, rejected the highs, and then broke down below. Right, so now in the 30-minute, we know we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. We're trading between these highs and these lows. We can see that these lows broke. Gave us a change of character to the lows. So now we change this, change of character, we place it red since we know that that's a break of the lows going downtrend. And we're still trading between the same high still trading between the same high, and the low that we're trading is going to be this one here, the last red candle before the push up, I'm going to use this red closure there and the bottom of the green wick here. And we know that we had rise, 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 and that gave us a day of no net here. Oh, I'm sorry, a day of drop here today. So not bad. We also know that we have a 4-hour engulfing, and this is exactly where price is at. So this is going to be an interesting zone, right? Could price use the bottom of this zone for price to turn around? Remember what I said on Saturday, right? And I think we even went over this on Monday. For me to have felt comfortable taking this trade, right, I would have loved to have seen price give me a change of character to the upside first, right? Giving us a pullback to then continue. The fact that we had the change of character and then price continued to go up, what does that tell us? We know, again, first of all, why is we understand we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low. If price would have given us this change of character, the pullback, and then it would have given us this high here and given us this lower high, we already know we could have taken this trade from here back to the lower high, right? Understandably so. We understand looking at structure too, just here in the 4 hour, where was the last time price had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Once price gave us this change of character, broke above, if we would have gotten a pullback from here down, we know that our next high is going to be here, right? Just looking at this in the 4 hour, but it looks the same. If we want to go to the 30-minute, we could compare that too. It's the same thing. I'm just looking at structure, right? We had lower low, lower high, price went down, give us lower low, lower high, price went down, lower low, right? So the fact that price already gave us that lower high, the fact that price, okay, is here now in the 4 hour, could price technically still tap into these lows and then go up again? It can. There's just a less probability of price doing that. So when we put all those pieces together and we start looking at the market like that, right now we go back to the 30-minute and we can say, okay, cool, we still know that this could be a fake out, right? This could be a fake change of character to have everybody believe that this is where price is going to continue to go low and then use this zone as a little support, you know, for price to do what it has to do. So either way, we're going to keep it simple, right? What do we want to look for? First and foremost, I'm not going to add a line at the bottom. If price breaks above these highs here, then we know we have clean traffic to the left hand side here to continue this push to the top side, right? So we're going to be waiting for a break of structure of this zone here. We're going to keep it simple. Today's going to be a super, not even today, just this week in general, we're going to try to keep everything as simple as possible. We had this break which gave us this high. Okay, so we know that we're still trading between these highs and these lows. Okay, then I am going to put on this line here, the lowest wick. Okay, at the lowest wick. Perfect. On to the next one, EURCAD. EURCAD, we were looking for 372. This one was beautiful. You know, looking at structure now, right? Everything played out the way it was supposed to play out. This was a pair that we were looking at for today. Hey, why didn't we take it, right? We had the news that came out 8:30 in the morning. There's two ways we could have looked at this. We could have really taken this as a little, I guess you could say an aggressive trade, but it was more of where would we have put our stop loss. So let's run this down to how we were looking at this morning, right? First and foremost, what did I want to see, or rather, what would I have wanted to see for a confirmation entry before the news, right? Outside of the EMA, right? Because we already know that the EMAs, yeah, we could use them as a confluence, but I won't use them as a 100%. Oh, this is where I'm entering because of the EMA, right? So I'm putting that one aside. Just talking about the engulfing candle. If we would have had an engulfing candle somewhere here, right? If we would have had a red, green, the way we could see these candles here, these candles would have formed 2 hours before news, right? Anywhere between 6 and 8 o'clock. If we would have gotten an engulfing candle retest, we understand that we could use that engulfing candle as a little support to where we could have had our stop loss. So just looking at structure, if you would have taken this trade early, let's say you get in on the 200 EMA, right? Let's say you get it on the 200 EMA, which is the white line. It's cool, you could get in there, but where's your stop loss going to be? Ideally, right, a lot of traders would put their stop loss below the zone. 8:30 news would have hit, and what happened? Boom, it went down first, it spiked all the stop losses, and then it went into profit and did exactly what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this 372, right? If we wouldn't have used, and you know, let's talk about the stop loss. The stop loss in the zone is 7 pips, right? Anywhere between 5 and 8 pips is where our stop loss would have been, and we would have gotten hit out 100%. Now, looking at the structure, right, understanding that, okay, why didn't I take this trade is because I wasn't looking at this stop loss, because I know that news likes to hunt stop losses. They love to hit stop losses before news. Does that happen every single time? No. There'll be times and there'll be pairs, and you'll see them today, that it's just a clean green candle to the top side, or vice versa, a clean red candle to the bottom side, where prices just went in one direction. If we wouldn't have used a stop loss, which it wasn't going to be the stop loss I was going to use, right, we would have had TP at 23 pips, and our stop loss would have been at 20 pips as well. So the risk to reward, truthfully speaking, on this trade is not worth the risk, right? The profits that would have been made on a pair that really only does STP at 38 pips, but we know, again, we were looking for this, we could have gotten it, right? It's one of those situations where I would rather just sit it out and wait for better structure. It's just one of those days where you could have had a nice entry, but at what cost, right? What type of stop loss would we have used? And again, if we would have taken this trade the same way we would have taken a trade on the day where there wasn't a high impact news, right, we could have used a simple just stop loss below the zone, because we know that we're not going to get faked out with these candles with the wicks trying to hit our stop loss, right? But understanding that that was the case today, if we would have taken this trade, we would have lost, and then price would have gone into profit. It clarifies everything that I've been talking about for the last 3 weeks on this channel, which is just waiting for the right moment. Now, you know, we could argue and say, oh, but price continue, you could have yet, but looking at STP, looking at ADR, I'm not going to be catching any trades after all of this. I'm not, right? Because all the traders who thought this was going to continue to go down after it broke here, you got faked out and price went right back to the top side. All the traders who thought price was going to continue to go up here, what happened? Price went right back down to the bottom. So again, when I enter a trade, I want to make sure that when I enter, it looks like something like this, where as soon as I enter, I know I'm going to be in profit, and price is just going to drive to profit. It's going to drive to the take profit. Now, if I enter a trade and price is just tap dancing into the zone, and then it's stop hunting stop losses, that is not a comfortable position to take a trade. At least for me, it's not comfortable. So let's go to the daily time frame, and again, understanding where we're at in the zone. We're at the top of consolidation in V1. Not the best place to look for a trade. No continuation, still trading between the daily high and the daily low in the 4-hour time frame. We had this break gave us this low and this high. This high broke here, so we now know that we're trading between this 4-hour low down here, last red candle before the push up, and the breaks up here at the last green candle before the push down. I'm gonna use the highest candle, which is that red wick, and I'm gonna keep it at this closure. 30-minute time frame, we know that we're still making higher. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, and then price gave us higher high. Gave us another change of character here for the higher high. We know that we're trading between this low and these highs up here. The highest and the last green candle before the push up. So in this case, we also have 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, market must chop or drop. So let's see what price does here. We'll wait it out. We'll see what price wants to do. If it wants to continue to go up, we'll look for continuation. If it goes down and gives us a pullback, we'll look for an entry at the pullback at the higher low to continue to make higher highs. Euro USD daily time frame, again, we're in the middle of consolidation. Not the best place to look for a trade, but it's looking good. At the bottom, we started drifting to the top. Just amazing. It's exactly what we want to see. 4 hours, we're still making lower low, lower high, lower low. Price here gave us 2 weeks of rise on the third week, did not give us a new high, gave us a no net. This week we see price went back to the top side. Looking good. Same thing, 372. This 372 that we were looking for yesterday gave it to us early, late at night, right? 2, 3 in the morning, and then it just continued to go up. So this is where that 30-minute time frame gets a little tricky here, where we see higher high, higher low, higher high. Do I want to say that this is a higher high, higher low, higher high, and or do I want to say that we're trading between these lows down here to these highs? The structure just wouldn't make sense. Right, so in this case, I am going to say that this is all part of the same trend, and we're just still looking for a pullback. Price just hasn't given us a pullback. It's just been green candles to the top side pretty much the entire day. So I'm not even going to update this with the 30-minute box, but we know we have 3 days of rise. Again, after 3 days of rise, market must chop or drop. So we'll be waiting for the morning to give us a solid confirmation. Does price want to continue and give us a continuation, or is price going to give us a pullback? If price ends up giving us a pullback, then it's all good. We know we want to look for those entries when price gives us a higher high. Again, what are we doing? We're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Where do we want to enter? We want to enter on these higher lows. Right after the confirmation, right after a change of character, after a break of structure, we have that confirmation price is going to continue. We have these 4-hour highs up here. So we at least know that we have another 78 pips, 78 to 80 pips to play with before price gives us a steeper pullback back down to the bottom. So EURCAD will definitely keep an eye on that for tomorrow morning. GCAD, same thing. 3 days of rise. Entry was given at 3 in the morning. Why was it given that early? We had a 1-2, green engulfing, retest back into the zone to continue. 30-minute, we know we were trading between lower low, lower high, lower low. Price then went up, consolidated for a little bit, and broke. So we know that we're still trading between this 30-minute low and these highs up here. The last green candle before the push down. Perfect. Not a lot to update on GCAD. Still in the same V1 top of consolidation. We're still in the 4-hour, just still consolidating at the top again. We had 3 weeks of rise drop. We understood we were looking for that 4th week variation. And actually this is not a valid engulfing, so no. So we're still waiting. Looking good, still moving good. We can see that this is a pair that, structurally speaking, looking at these candles, look how crazy it moves. So GJ still in peak high, not a lot to update. We're still trading between the high and the low. We had multiple days of rise. This isn't one that I'm looking to trade, so I'm not gonna go crazy on the. There's really nothing to update, right? We're just still kind of in the same spot. GU, we're in V1 top of consolidation. We have 5 months where price is just going sideways. 4-hour time frame, we know that we're still lower low, lower high, and lower low. And right now price is pushing up into that lower high area. Again, no continuations. We just have a week of no net. $30-minute time frame, we had 2 days of rise, today being the 3rd day. Price, as soon as price opened for Asia session last night, price just continued to go up to the top side, so didn't really give us an opportunity to enter. STP was hit before we even woke up, so we'll continue to see. 30-minute time frame, we also have higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character. Then price gave us another higher high here, change of character to the top side. We know that we're trading between this low and whatever high is set up here, which we don't have a high that's set yet, so we're still going to wait it out before we mark it. But we'll keep this one up right here. We'll update it whenever. We'll update it tomorrow morning. And again, if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys join the Discord. You guys could always ask questions here in the chat, ask questions in the Discord chat, ask questions on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you guys feel comfortable. The link for the Discord will be in the chat. So if you guys haven't joined yet, make sure you guys do. We're almost done here, only missing 4 more pairs. I'm gonna go through these pretty quick. All of them are pretty much the same, right? US30, the example that we were giving for GCAD, right? US30 is one that price just consolidated. Never broke lows, never broke the highs, never broke the lows. Price news hit, and what happened? Price went straight up. So this is a pair where, today wouldn't have been, we didn't get an opportunity, right? The only opportunity that price gave us, again, if we would have taken a trade down here, just think about it, right? Just think about it. If we're looking for a trade, and let's time everything together, and again, because I know a lot of people are hindsight traders, so sometimes you have to cut that delusional state of mind and really you know be real with what you're trading. So we wake up, this is where price is at, right? Price is at the lowest point in the market. Where would our stop loss have been? There's no structure here. It's just a straight green candle to the top. The only time we had structure was down here. Yo, you really think I'm gonna trade US30? We're talking about US30. You think I'm gonna trade US30 thinking about the fact that price could just melt down 154 pips? You gotta be out of your mind. Especially at the top of the zone where we know price is consolidating again, where we rejected highs, we rejected lows, we went back to the highs, rejected the highs, and then price started consolidating. With no confirmation, there was no engulfing candles, there was no change of character, break of structure, there was no doji candles, there was nothing in our favor telling us that price was going to go up at all. At all. The only thing we had was news. And again, for the most part, even if we want to be a little bit more technical about it, for the most part, a lot of prop firms don't even allow news trading. So again, is not something I'm worried about, right? So let's start updating it and start thinking about, okay, cool, we got out of the zone of consolidation. We know that at one point we did have a lower low change of character, and then price went back up to where we're at now and gave us another change of character going to the top side. This change of character now is going to the top. Price gave us a higher high. We know that we're trading still between this low and whatever high is set. We still don't have a set high, right? But what do I love about US30 right now is that we're right back at the top of the daily zone. We're right back at the top of the 4-hour zone. We already filled all the gaps up that we wanted to see price fill. So now we're good, right? This is where we want to start looking for price to go down. This is what I'm looking for. This is what we've been looking for a few weeks now. We already knew that price wanted to do these types of moves. So perfect, right? Now we know what do we start looking for. We covered all the gaps at the top side, and we now know that there's gaps at the bottom, and we could start off with this one right here. Right, we have a 30-minute gap here that opened at the start of the market open. So this is what I'm going to be waiting for. So I'm gonna keep a very, very, very close eye on US30 today. Very close eye on US30. Right, price gave us 2 days of rise. Already gave us a third day. Again, we have a market reset because we have the gap, but let's see what price wants to do here at the daily and 4-hour highs. It's gonna be very interesting to keep a close eye on. Sorry guys, we're cleaning the house today. I have there's a lot of dust. My nose is itchy. USDCAD is moving counter. It's not one. I'm not gonna update this one crazy, but I'm gonna update the 30. Right, we have 2 days of drop. Already looking for the third day, but this is counter against the trend. So I'm not I'm not a big fan of trading counter trends. This broke, gave us this low and the high. Gave us this high and then the low that we're gonna be looking for, the last red candle before the push up. I'm gonna be using the lowest red candle closure, which is this one, and the wick. Gold, 2 days of rise, today being the third day, already gave us that third push. Gold is a little bit different than US30 though. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We know that this high broke, which gave us this low down here, last red candle before the push up. And we know now that we're trading between these highs, and again, same situation as the other pairs. We don't really have a pullback yet, so still gonna wait out for a pullback. We have a green 4-hour open. Gave us 2 days of rise. Right, not only that, we also broke above the 4-hour zone that we wanted to see. So this is also a pair that has 2 months of rise. Am I expecting a third month? Yes. Price already gave us a third month as well. So let's see if price continues to go up. If it does continue to go up, then we'll catch a retest, right? We know that we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came up, gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low, higher high. So we know that we're trading now between this 4-hour low, last red candle before the push down. I'm sorry, before the push up, and whatever 4-hour high is set here. Which again, we don't have a set high yet, so we're gonna wait it out. And last but not least, Bitcoin gave us a day of rise. Perfect today. Still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Price started consolidating, gave us a higher high. And we know we're trading between this low and whatever high is set up here. That's pretty much it for today, guys. Keeping it short, not too bad of a class, right? Not too bad of a session. Again, for the most part, a lot of these pairs are, if we're looking for longs, the pairs that are at the top of their zones are the pairs going long, and the prices that we want to see going down are the pairs that are at the bottom of their zone still. So, it's just one of those weeks, right? One of those weeks where prices, we gotta let it develop, right? We know we had a very, very nice catch here on Bitcoin, right? In hindsight, we could have held this and gone straight to the fucking moon and to Mars, but that's not, the realistic standards of trading is that we don't know when these prices are gonna move the way they do, right? All we gotta do is just wait for our setup, look for exactly what we need to look for, and just keep riding the waves, right? Keep the momentum going on the trades that we do catch. Stay patient on the days that we need to stay patient, and that's it. Just capitalize on the trades that we could capitalize on, and that's it, man. That's really all it is. A day with no trades is better than a day where we're losing trades, and that's the way I see it. So, if you guys have any questions, especially for the people who are going to be watching the recording, make sure you guys hit me up on Twitter or Discord. Again, the link for the Discord will be in the chat. That's pretty much it for today, guys. See you guys tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. for the live trading session. Peace out.